people with diabetes are twice as likely to develop dementia. The younger a person is when they were diagnosed with diabetes, the higher their risk of developing dementia. Did you know that every 3 minutes, someone in the United States is diagnosed with diabetes? That's a staggering 1,440 new cases each day. But here's an even more surprising fact. People with diabetes have a 50% higher risk of developing dementia. In the United States alone, over 34 million people have diabetes. That's about 1 in 10 Americans. Of these, 90 to 95% have type 2 diabetes, which is often linked to lifestyle factors. Now, when we look at dementia, we see that about 5.8 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease, the most common form of dementia. That's roughly 1 in every 10 people aged 65 and older. This connection between diabetes and dementia is not just a coincidence. It's a critical link that could help us better prevent and treat both conditions. By understanding the connection between diabetes and dementia, we're not just learning about diseases. We're learning how to protect ourselves and our loved ones from conditions that can dramatically alter our lives. So, let's embark on this journey of discovery together, unraveling the surprising connection between diabetes and dementia. In 2021, the medical world was buzzing with excitement. A groundbreaking study published in the journal Neurology shed new light on the link between type 2 diabetes and dementia. This wasn't just another research paper, it was a game changer that made us rethink what we knew about these two conditions. The study followed over 10,000 people for up to 20 years. People with type 2 diabetes develop dementia, on average, 7 years earlier than those without diabetes. 7 years. That's like losing 7 years of your life to dementia. The study also found that the younger you are when you develop diabetes, the higher your risk of dementia. It tells us that diabetes doesn't just affect our body, it affects our brain too. This discovery opens up new avenues for prevention and treatment. If we can better manage diabetes, especially in younger people, we might be able to delay or even prevent dementia. Taking care of your blood sugar isn't just about preventing complications like kidney disease or blindness, it's about protecting your brain too. What's good for your body is good for your brain, and vice versa. This breakthrough is just the beginning. Let's talk about sugar. We all love it, but too much of it can be a real problem. In diabetes, your body struggles to manage sugar properly. But did you know that this sugar problem doesn't just affect your waistline? It can have a big impact on your heart too. And that's where the connection to dementia begins. When you have diabetes, especially if it's not well controlled, your blood sugar levels stay high. This high blood sugar can damage the blood vessels in your body, including the ones in your heart. Over time, these damaged blood vessels can lead to heart disease. In fact, people with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to develop heart disease than people without diabetes. But what does this have to do with dementia? Well, your heart and your brain are very connected. If your heart isn't working well, your brain suffers too. When heart disease develops, it can reduce the amount of blood flowing to your brain, and your brain needs a constant supply of blood to function properly. Without enough blood, your brain cells can start to die, leading to cognitive problems and potentially dementia. By managing your diabetes well, you're not just protecting your heart, you're protecting your brain too. So the next time you're tempted to skip your diabetes medication or indulge in that extra slice of cake, remember, you're not just doing it for your body, you're doing it for your mind too. Let's dive deeper into the world of blood vessels. These tiny tubes carry blood throughout your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell. They're like the highways of your body. But in diabetes, these highways can get damaged. It's like potholes forming on a road. At first you might not notice them, but over time they can cause serious problems. High blood sugar, which is common in diabetes, can damage the lining of your blood vessels. It's like sugar scraping against the inside of the vessels, causing tiny injuries. These injuries can lead to a buildup of plaque, which narrows the blood vessels. This condition is called atherosclerosis, and it's a major cause of heart disease and stroke. But the damage doesn't stop there. When blood vessels are damaged, they can become leaky. This leakiness can lead to a condition called vascular dementia. Vascular dementia is the second most common type of dementia after Alzheimer's disease. It occurs when parts of the brain don't get enough blood, leading to the death of brain cells. The connection between damaged blood vessels and dementia is clear. But here's the tricky part. This damage often happens silently. You can't feel your blood vessels getting damaged. This is why regular checkups are so important when you have diabetes. Taking care of your blood vessels isn't just about preventing heart disease, it's about protecting your brain too. Section 5, Brain Fuel Crisis, Hypoglycemia and Cognitive Function. Let's talk about hypoglycemia. It's a big word, but it simply means low blood sugar. For people with diabetes, it's a constant worry. But did you know that hypoglycemia can affect your brain function? It's like your brain is running out of fuel. And just like a car, when your brain runs out of fuel, it starts to sputter and stall. Your brain is an energy hog. It uses about 20% of your body's energy, even though it only makes up about 2% of your body weight. And the fuel it prefers is glucose, or sugar. When your blood sugar drops too low, your brain doesn't get enough fuel. This brain fuel crisis can have both short-term and long-term effects on your cognitive function. In the short term, you might feel confused, dizzy, or have trouble concentrating. But repeated episodes of severe hypoglycemia can lead to long-term cognitive problems. Some studies have found that people with a history of severe hypoglycemia have a higher risk of developing dementia. When your brain doesn't get enough fuel, some brain cells can die. Over time, this damage can add up, leading to cognitive decline and potentially dementia. This is why managing your blood sugar levels is so important if you have diabetes. It's not just about avoiding the immediate discomfort of hypoglycemia. It's about protecting your brain for the long haul. Section 6. Insulin, the brain's best friend or worst enemy. Let's talk about insulin. You've probably heard of it before, especially if you or someone you know has diabetes. But did you know that insulin plays a crucial role in your brain? It's not just about managing blood sugar. Insulin is like a key that unlocks the door to your brain cells, allowing them to use glucose for energy. Without insulin, your brain cells would starve, even if there's plenty of glucose in your blood. In type 2 diabetes, your body becomes resistant to insulin. It's like the locks on your brain cells have changed, and the insulin key doesn't work as well anymore. This is called insulin resistance. When this happens, your brain cells don't get the energy they need to function properly. Recent research has shown that insulin might play a role in protecting brain cells and promoting their survival. In fact, some scientists now call Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes because of the similarities in how insulin works or doesn't work in the brains of people with Alzheimer's and those with diabetes. This connection between insulin and brain health opens up exciting possibilities for treatment. Some researchers are exploring the use of insulin nasal sprays to treat Alzheimer's disease. While these treatments are still in the experimental stage, they show promise. Managing your insulin levels isn't just about controlling your blood sugar. It's about protecting your brain too. Section 7. Inflammation and oxidative stress. Let's dive into the world of inflammation and oxidative stress. Imagine your body is a bustling city. Think of free radicals as graffiti artists. They roam the streets, spray painting walls, and causing chaos. In our city, they're the byproducts of everyday activities like car exhaust or sun exposure. A few graffiti tags are fine, but too many can damage buildings, your cells. Now meet the city's cleanup crew, the antioxidants. They patrol, scrubbing off graffiti and repairing walls. Their job is to neutralize those free radicals. When they're around, the city stays vibrant and healthy. A protest erupts in the city square. Inflammation is like that protest. It's your body's way of responding to trouble. But if it lasts too long, it damages the city, your tissues. Sometimes the graffiti artists outnumber the cleanup crew. Buildings start crumbling, and the city becomes stressed. That's oxidative stress. It happens when free radicals overwhelm antioxidants. Now let's talk about oxidative stress. This is another process that goes into overdrive in diabetes. Oxidative stress is like rust forming on metal. It happens when there are too many harmful molecules called free radicals in your body. These free radicals can damage your cells, including your brain cells. Over time, this rust can contribute to the development of various diseases, including dementia. In diabetes, both inflammation and oxidative stress tend to be higher than normal. This constant damage can accelerate aging in your body and brain. But here's the good news. Many of the things that help manage diabetes also help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. Section 8. Connecting the dots, how diabetes leads to dementia. Now that we've explored various aspects of diabetes and its effects on the body and brain, let's connect the dots. How exactly does diabetes increase the risk of dementia? It's like putting together pieces of a complex puzzle. Each piece represents a different way that diabetes can impact brain health. When we put all these pieces together, we get a clearer picture of the diabetes-dementia connection. First, there's the vascular damage. As we discussed earlier, diabetes can damage blood vessels throughout the body, including in the brain. This damage can lead to reduced blood flow to the brain, which can cause vascular dementia. Then there's the issue of insulin resistance and glucose metabolism. When the brain can't use insulin effectively, it struggles to get the energy it needs from glucose. This can lead to cognitive problems and potentially contribute to the development of Alzheimer's disease. Add to this the chronic inflammation and oxidative stress that often accompany diabetes. These processes can damage brain cells over time, accelerating cognitive decline. Finally, There's the increased risk of hypoglycemic episodes in people with diabetes. Severe or frequent low blood sugar can starve the brain of energy, potentially leading to cognitive problems. Managing diabetes isn't just about controlling blood sugar, it's about protecting the brain from multiple angles. Section 9. Fighting back lifestyle changes for a healthier brain. Now that we understand the connection between diabetes and dementia, let's talk about what we can do about it. The good news is that many of the steps you can take to manage diabetes also help protect your brain. It's like hitting two birds with one stone. By making some lifestyle changes, you can improve your overall health and potentially reduce your risk of both diabetes and dementia. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends and family. Together, we can spread awareness and make a difference.